Good morning, everybody. It's just lovely to see you all here. This is our first research day, and we haven't been able to do it because of the pandemic. So this was planned 2 years ago, and here we all are, and it's just wonderful to be in the newly restored OPW enhanced meeting room of the Academy. I'm going to hand over now to Senator Malcolm Byrne, who's going to say a few words to you. Senator Byrne was appointed to the Senate in April 2020, and he serves as Fianna Fáil's spokesperson on further higher education, research, innovation and science. Malcolm is from Gorey in County Wexford. He's a graduate in law, arbitration and governance, and he previously worked for 12 years as the head of communications with the Higher Education Authority. Malcolm was a councillor from 1999 to 2019, served as chair of the Wexford County Council, former vice president of the National Youth Council of Ireland, Union of Students of Ireland, executive member of European Students' Union. So if anyone knows the higher education landscape, you do know that, Senator Byrne. You are a member of the Oireachtas Committee for Tourism, Sport, Arts, Media and Culture, and a member of the Shannon Committee on Brexit. It is my pleasure to hand over to you for a few words on the Academy, which is today showcasing its activities in research. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for inviting me here today, and thank you, Mary, for your welcome. And it's often sort of, when people from the Academy, and I mean that in the broadest sense, meet with politicians, there's often, I won't say a tension in the air, but it's always a kind of sense, why don't politicians understand what we do? Why isn't there a greater understanding of our research? And so on. So I'm going to set 3 challenges today. I think one of the things that, of which I think is a very positive step by the government, was the creation of the Department of Further and Higher Education, Research, Innovation and Science. And the reason why that department was created was not just to separate it from the Department of Teachers and Schools, which is the main focus of the Department of Education. It wasn't just to be an administrative department. It was to be a forward-looking department to look at the challenges and opportunities for Ireland in a wide range of spheres. So the 3 challenges that I'm going to set out on this research day here in the Academy. The first I'm going to set is to the Academy itself. I think the RIA has had a very important role in Irish society, showcasing research like this, engaging in critical debate. But the challenge I set to the Academy is to become even more of a platform for public debate. In an era of disinformation and misinformation and fake news, there is an increasingly important role for a trusted, neutral body like the Academy to inform public debate. And I would certainly hope that in all that the Academy does, that it gets those messages out there about the importance of facts, about the importance of evidence-based policy making. The second challenge I set is to the research community. And one of the things that I found, and as Mary mentioned, when I worked in the HEA and others, there's incredible research that's going on in all areas in Irish society. In the sciences, in the humanities. But often one of the challenges is researchers talk to each other. They don't tend to communicate it to a wider audience. And that continues to be a challenge. I think there is a real importance for researchers to engage in public debate. If you have knowledge from your research that you believe can inform, whether it's public health, whether it's economic strategy, whether it's simply how we can improve our communities, there is an obligation, I believe, on researchers to get that message out beyond the campuses of our higher education institutions and universities, but to engage the wider public with that research. I think during the course of COVID, we saw that very effectively done by those who are involved in research in the public health space. I think the challenge is to all researchers to ensure that the research goes beyond even what's happening in here in the RIA today. And what I would say is that those of us over in Leinster House, or those of us out on the street, are aware of the wonderful research that's going on. And the third challenge, and I don't believe that you should set challenges for others without setting them for yourself, I believe is to us as legislators. Next year, as you might be aware, the government is going to, for the first time, set out a national research strategy. I think it's important within that we are ambitious, that it talks about the importance of research to Irish society and to the economy. In many ways, Ireland's success over recent decades, it could be said that it's based on two things: tax and talent. Ireland is no longer competing in the tax space, not alone in terms of because of the international agreements, but also because the world has moved on. Where Ireland is going to be able to compete is in the area of talent. And that's why it's important that for us as legislators, we get the research strategy right, that we're ambitious in it, that we recognise the research contribution to Irish society, but also that we understand and reward and recognise good research and researchers. So that is also our challenge. So with those three challenges set out, it's a great honour and privilege for me to declare this first RIA Research Day officially open. Go on, Cliff.
So my name is Jane Conroy. I'm Vice President for Research in the Academy. And it's my pleasure to thank you, Senator, for a very inspiring short speech, but it addresses, in fact, many of the challenges that the Academy is meditating on and active around. And particularly, of course, today is about the researchers, and the researchers, as you say, putting the message out and communicating what they're doing. This open day was something we thought of 2 years ago, and then COVID intervened. And since it's very much about people coming in and about the sort of hands-on demonstrations and so on that are going on all through the day, it was important to wait until it could be done in person and until people could come in through the doors and until the researchers could interact with them and so on. So this is what we hope will happen today. There are the formal presentations and then the opportunities for everybody to quiz the researchers about what they do. I think there's a great emphasis indeed on digital humanities in today's proceedings, and therefore, that is another way in which we can reach out. But I'd like to thank you very much for coming to us today. Thank you.
So before we go inside and start talking to each other and walking around and looking at everything and interacting, as Jane has said, I would just like to say a few further words. Senator Byrne has given us a challenge, well, 3 challenges actually, and I think it's worthwhile reflecting on the last one, on the creation of policy at the moment. So the Academy has just put up on its website the end of last week, this week, beginning of this week, our views on how science advice should be provided in Ireland. And this was in response to a consultation from the Department of Further Education, and Higher Education, Research and Innovation. So we have responded to that, setting out also the strengths of the Academy, which clearly are across a whole number of disciplines, and again, the interdisciplinarity of science and of research and of the role of the humanities. We can do that here because we are, unlike in England, we are not like the Royal Society and the British Academy, where arts and humanities and sciences are separated. This is a convening space, north and south, and this is a convening space where we through our work here, through our multidisciplinary committees and through our projects, which you're about to see today and we're all about to look at, we can contribute hugely and we can be that forum. So I just wanted to say to Senator Byrne that this is a message which we would love to be communicated further among your colleagues in Leinster House. Secondly, the creation of a new body for science and research. We will be actively involved in making submissions to that too, and again, building on our experience and also responding to, as we have over the last couple of years very strongly, to the Taoiseach's Shared Island Initiative. Because we are North and South, because we can cover interests in research right across the whole island, this again gives us a unique strength here. And I know that my colleagues, the officers, the council, and also the executive under our new executive director, Dr. O'Sullivan, are all very well aware of that. So I just want to thank you all for coming today. We have a lot of challenges to rise to, and a lot of difficulties, but there is a huge amount of expertise in here to help policymakers. And as I did say to Minister Harris some time ago, he should regard us as a free consultancy service. So thank you all very much and enjoy the day. Thank you.